The Atari Creep YouTube channel is intended for a mature audience. Regardless of the subject matter, this video may contain strong language, simulated violence, and psychological nudity. Viewer discretion is advised. What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris, the Atari Creep. How's everyone doing today? Before we get into today's video, no, I'm not going to do the whole subscribe, hit the bell, and all that. No, we're going to talk about this. This is more important than you subscribing. Down below is a link. You can do a couple things with that link. You can either donate to the Alzheimer's Association to support my walk to end Alzheimer's in honor of my father, whose birthday was yesterday, the 4th, on Easter. Or you can share it to friends and family, and maybe they can help out. Either way, it would help me out a tremendous deal, and I would be more grateful than you could even imagine. What are we going to do today? Guys, we have a lot of really rad videos coming up this week. I got a lot of really cool stuff to look at, but regardless, I'm going to continue on with our collection video, so to speak. Why? Because they're fucking fun. And it's something to say, hey, dig me, look at all the stuff that I've able to collect over the years, one way or another. But today we're going to talk about handheld tabletop games. We're talking LCD, VFD, LED, WD-40. Any of the case, any game that you could play in your hand or on the tabletop and not have to connect to anything, that's what we're going to talk about. So we're going to start here with these teeny tiny little guys. We have a Galaxian arcade cabinet. This is one of those, I believe it's My Impulse or something like that, that makes these world's smallest tiny arcades. I got me a Galaxian one and a PacMan cocktail table, which is fucking rad just in itself. Even if this was just a static prop, that'd be pretty cool. If you go further enough back in my, I just sounded Midwestern there for a second. If you go further enough back in my videos, you'll see we modified this thing to tap into all 4 games that was on this board. Some of these came with a board that had all 4 games, and they just kind of jumped which one was labeled. And we tapped in all of them, except for one. I screwed up the pin. I broke it. But regardless, had a lot of fun with those. Next is a Trio of Doom. They're little handheld LCD games. Branded Coleco. We went through these things a while ago. This was 10 racing games. It was really like 2 racing games, just with different sprites. This one's a sports. I gotta read it. And Target, basically shooter games. These were, the best way to describe it is they were crap. They were just crap. Next, my Atari Flashback Portable by AtGames. Not a big fan of the AtGames products. But this goes with me anywhere I know I'm going to need to spend some time sitting. Continuing with handheld consoles. Again, I said I'm not a big fan of them. That's an exception right there. The Atari Lynx. What an amazing system. Unfortunately, I have to get most of my experience from that right there. And if I ever get an Evercade, of course, the first 2 cartridges I'm going to buy are the Lynx collection. Next, we have a modern take on a classic. Mattel Electronics presents Electronic Basketball. Yeah, we did a video on this. This is such a fun game. I'm not a fan of basketball, to be perfectly honest with you. In fact, I can't fucking stand the game. I can't stand watching it. Yeah, I won't even bet on it during March Madness, and I'm not much of a gambler anyway. But this is a fun time-killing device. Next is an LCD game that's a fucking enigma. I believe it, yeah, Willie of Arcade USA hooked me up with this thing. And my best guess is this is a battleship-style game for one person. There are other versions out there that you can connect 2 of these together, or they're already connected with a screen. It's pretty weird, but I can't find anything specifically, or at least last time I checked, on this model itself. I have no idea how to play this. Not even an idea of a single idea. I sent out the word on some Facebook groups of people who collect stuff like this. We can't find anything about it. No manuals. I can't even find a fucking picture of it. Now, obviously, someone's going to fucking rub egg in my face saying, hey, here it is. We all looked, and Willie even made a joke saying, that's why I sent it to you, buddy, because I couldn't figure it out either. Next, Coleco's Talking Teacher. I guess it's the equivalent of a speak and spell. Oddly enough, you know, the girls here, they're 12. They're almost 13, like about a month and a half away from being 13. And out of everything that was in that last box from Willie, the older one went straight to this. Went straight to this thing and played it for a couple hours. How fucking weird is that? I mean, Next, a Sears product. And I think I like that the most about this than anything else. I mean, don't get me wrong. The handheld game thing is cool. These are classic. They're sexy. I like sniffing them. I don't quite like licking these ones yet. We'll get to the ones I like to lick. But the fact that it's a Sears product, and, you know, I don't know. I have a soft spot for it. Maybe because my first Atari console was Sears branded. But either way, we have Sears electronic games, offense, defense, electronic football. We haven't even had a look at this game yet. But I can tell you right now, whether it works or not, it's fucking awesome. Because you got robots that are timekeepers playing football with a steel ball. You don't get much better than that, folks. You really don't. Unless, of course, you find something where someone took the concept of PacMan aesthetic and turned them into a helmet UFO. I don't know. This is a Tomitronics. I always have a hard time saying that. Tomitronics PacMan LCD game. Really fun, very interesting. I think this is more of a collectible as far as a nice shelf keeper. I try not to keep many of those things around. I like to keep things that I actually use. Or if I find a better home for them, I'll pass them forward. Because I believe these things need to be in the proper hands. But this one right here is very interesting. If you're into that hardcore Pac-Man game play style, this might not be for you. This one, we did a video on this. Tons of people have done videos on this one. It's fun in its own right, and it has its own like little quirks in this tiny little screen. I think it's worth checking out. But if you're looking for Pac-Man excitement, no. If you're looking for something that's really rad looking, that would look good on the shelf, that is still fun to play, there you go. Go pick up one of these things. I originally purchased this to make a video and then send it down to my buddy Willie of Arcade USA. He really loves collecting these things a lot more than anyone else I know, this style of game. And I knew he didn't have one of these, and I got a really smoking deal on it. I got it home, played it once, went to make a video, didn't fucking work. And the whole idea of me buying this thing was to get it to him as a gift. That was the end-all be-all. That was the big picture. And the fucking thing was broken. So we tried to figure it out and we couldn't. So I sent it down to him with a big sorry note, but saying, hey, I know you're a tinkerer. It's yours, and I feel bad that it doesn't work, but this was my intention. I'm sorry, bud. So he repaired it in a video, played it in a video, and then snuck it back to me. And I said, dude, you can have that. And he's like, no. It's all you. It's all you, bud. Really fun game. I love the aesthetic of these. And that's one thing I haven't commented on because we haven't gotten to too many of these. This vintage style tabletop arcade game, I guess you would call it. They all had their own like little flavor and flair. And they just had these really cool aesthetics where they just try to do their own thing. Really fun game if you can find one. Let's step away from the retro for right now and go a little bit more modern. We'll get back to retro, don't you worry. We have one of these little tabletop arcade Defender machines. Now, this is not necessarily Defender. I think it's Defender 2, which is what, Stargate? Some people call it Stargate, but it's one of those, God, who makes these things? Is this? Oh, Basic Fun. This is Basic Fun. Really fun little cabinet. I can't remember if I've done a video on this one yet or not. I'm going to have to look into that myself. You let me know. I don't want to do the research. Next is Joust. And if I remember correctly, Defender or Joust, maybe it's both of them, have both games on them. And people have done all kinds of really neat stuff to make it so you can play both games on the machines. I think it was Joust that had the Defender. I could be wrong on that. Someone let me know down below. But I know some people even put like tilt switches and shit. So you flip it one way when you turn it on and Defender will come up, and vice versa for Joust. I'm pretty sure it was this machine. We haven't tapped into it, and I don't think I'm going to. But this was a surprisingly well-playing game. I'm not normally a fan of this type of thing. But this played well. This was a really fun little arcade. Still is. It's right here. You can see. It's not a past tense thing. And try to do this without the glare. A more recent get, more Galaxian love. This is a fun little cabinet. I absolutely love this thing. I'm pretty damn sure we just did a video on this. I'm going to have to double check that as well. I'm so stupid. I got a memory issue, guys. You're going to have to fucking deal with it. I didn't give much credit to this My Arcade branding. from past experiences with their generic handhelds. But seeing these things at $30, I scarfed. Now I kind of get it. They are actually really high quality from what I've played already. And there's a couple at my CVS that I've had my eye on. I get 40% off coupons all the time from them. So, maybe we'll grab a PacMan one or whatever. But people have recommended a whole bunch of these My Arcade ones to me. And I'm finally seeing it. I'm seeing it now. So here's a small confession. At the end of the video, you're going to hear me say, okay, I won't cut in with anything more that I forgot about. Well, I'm already telling you right now that that's a fucking lie. I forgot all about this thing, and how could I? We have a whole playlist dedicated to this. Me playing every one of the games on here. Plus, when we brought it home, I had to repair it. I got this for $5 at Walmart. It was on like a shelf of busted clearance shit. But there was no price on it, so we brought it up, and they're like, oh, it could just be the batteries. I'm like, nah, don't play that game with me. Don't play that game with me. And they're like, how about $5? And I was like, boom, here you go. Take my money. I'm out of here. And my initial, I was going to, there's a whole bunch of screen here. I was just going to put a bigger screen in there and do a RetroPie situation. But the girls enjoy this so much, I just left it as is. Jumping back into the vintage, retro, old school, whatever you want to call it, classic. Another Tandy machine. If you don't know what Tandy is Radio Shack. That's their brand. Alien Chase. This is such a fun game. It's got a play screen on both sides, so if you're playing against somebody, all they get is a fucking joystick on the side, and you just say, haha, I got all these buttons and switches and doohads. And doohads? What the hell? This is a really fun game. If you can get your hands on one of these, even in shitty condition, as long as it works, figure out the gameplay, get a buddy, teach them, and this is hours and hours and hours of tabletop fun. This is a great machine if you can get your hands on one. Electronic Powerhouse Pinball. This is a Tomy tabletop game. We played this, last week or the week before here on the channel. This is such a fantastic game. I had so much fun with this after recording the video. It took me a while to actually edit it and everything because I kept going back to playing this before yanking the batteries out. And that's another thing I gotta say. Take the fucking batteries out of these things when you're not using them. Please, for the love of God. Especially if you plan on using it for trade bait, selling it, or passing it on to somebody. Take the fucking batteries out. This is a fun handheld. Get your ass one of these if you like electronic pinball. You will not be disappointed. The last. This one's next to last. You all know what this is. This came out this past holiday. I've used it twice. It's been on the shelf. It's pretty cool for what it is. It's a nice collectible thing. Moving on. And of course I had to save the best for last. This is the crown jewel of my collection. And I'm not talking about handheld LCD, LED, or VFD. I'm talking all of the above. This is one of my favorite pieces. I swear to Christ, when I die, I want to go to a body farm anyway for law enforcement study, but I want this to be with me. If someone decides to bury me or cremate me or whatever the case, this has to go with me. And I hate to do that. I hate to take it out of circulation. But this is one of my all-time favorite items. I got this from a buddy, Rick R, over at the Atari.io forums. He had a whole bunch of these for sale. Not this particular model, but these games. And I saw this, and I'm like, dude, I know it's expensive. Can we work out a deal? So we did a partial cash, partial trade deal. Rick R is a really nice guy. I've purchased many things from him. We've done plenty of trades throughout the years. Really nice guy. We may differ quite a bit politically on Facebook privately, but that's all in the fun, all in the fun of being a human being. As long as you can disagree proper, it's rock steady, But if you've never played the Epoch or Epic, I call it Epoch, Dracula game, there's a yellow version that's just as sexy, but this is the best. This is the crown. This is where your life says, I have accomplished everything. I can now sit back, retire, and just whittle away. No joke. This is... I'm going to lick it now. As I was setting up to say goodbye to you, I found two more. And, isn't that the way? I always seem to forget something. But who could forget this thing? This was a noisy motherfucker, but this was really fun. Very solid. Just holding this. It's like this could be a weapon. This is hardcore. This is not for the faint of heart. Now, I do like the Kenner version of this better. We did a video, so go ahead and look that up to know more about it. Really fun game, very simple. Simplicity at its best. And I promise you this time, even if I have forgotten more, this will be the last boxing. This is I've played this before, I think. Fun game. I still need to repair, or replace rather, the 9-volt connector inside here. I've just been lazy on that. It's a real simple job. Wouldn't take me 5 minutes. And we can finally get a video, but this is one of the astute Coleco. I think it's a Coleco. I'm pretty damn sure it's Coleco. Yeah, it's Coleco. So, oh, it says it right here. Coleco. So, there you go. This time I promise, even if I find more, I'm not going to bring it out here. I'm not going to bring it out here. Isn't that enough, guys? But yeah, you know, I never realized I amassed such a collection of retro and modern radness. But I think what I like the most about collecting stuff like this are or I should say the lack of consistency in aesthetic. They all had their own thing going on. Maybe not so much the modern stuff, but if you look at all this retro stuff, they all had their own vibe going. I absolutely love it. It's such a fun thing to collect for, and hopefully it was fun for you to watch. Hopefully it was fun for you to watch, and you got an idea or two on what you'd like to go out there and find. Let me know what you have. If you have a good collection, please make a response video. You don't have to mention me at all. Just make sure I see it so I can watch it, and I will lay comments within the comment section, though I don't do that too often because I'm lazy that way. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget, more importantly, this stuff is fun, but this is not. This is serious shit. Please click on that link down below. I beg you. I'm begging you. I never beg you for actual money. Click on that link. All money goes directly to the Alzheimer's Association. I don't see a dime of it, and I would greatly appreciate it. Lots of big things coming up. With my mom being ill, I've been a little lack on being up to date on things. If you have a logo that needs to go on a t-shirt of mine, please get it to me. Please message me ASAP. I would like to have that shirt done here in the next week or so. I will try to reach out to all my sponsors. And fuck it, if you want to still sponsor it, you have a couple more days. Just leave a donation or message me and I'll tell you how. Guys, thank you always so much for watching. I can't say that enough. Hope you have a great week. Happy Monday. And until next time, take care. Creep it real. And bye-bye.